Okay, so let's talk about one of the most incredible buildings on the planet, St. Peter's Basilica. This place is a monument to, well, everything. Faith, ambition, sheer artistic genius. And we're going to dive in and unpack its amazing story. And get this is not just any old church. We're talking about a building that took 150 years to complete. It can hold 60,000 people. That's like a whole city. And it's got a secret, one that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries. And you bet we're going to find out what it is.
All right, first things first. To really wrap our heads around St. Peter's, we got to start with the numbers. Because honestly, before we even get to the art, you just have to appreciate the sheer scale of the ambition here. It's wild.
So check out this number, 1.6 million. That's the volume inside in cubic meters. This space is so huge, people say it has its own weather inside. It's a number that screams colossal ambition, right? It was absolutely designed to blow your mind. Okay, let's put that into perspective. You've heard of the massive cathedrals in Seville or Milan, right? They're huge, but just look at this. St. Peter's isn't just bigger, it completely dwarfs them. I mean, it is in a totally different league, no contest. And all that space, it can pack in 60,000 people. Just think about that for a second. That's a whole football stadium's worth of people, all inside a single building that was started over 500 years ago. This wasn't just built to be big, it was built to inspire total awe. And you know what? It still works. So the big question is, how on earth did they build something this massive? Well, it was anything but simple. This was a project that took over 150 years and basically involved a who's who of the greatest artists and architects in history. I love this quote. It really frames the whole story. It all kicked off way back in 1506. You've got Pope Julius II, who lays the first stone, and his architect, Donato Bramante. These two, they came up with the grand vision, the skeleton, the very bones of the building. They knew they wouldn't live to see it finished, but they laid down a plan so epic that generations could build on it. And then Michelangelo shows up. He gives the basilica its most famous feature, the one thing everyone recognizes. He takes over the whole project in 1546, when he was 71 years old, by the way, and he totally redesigns the dome. What he created is this soaring, unbelievable masterpiece. It's still the tallest dome in the world. Just an absolute marvel of engineering and genius. But the building itself wasn't the final piece. That finishing touch came from another giant, Gianlorenzo Bernini. He's the guy who designed that huge, incredible square out front, St. Peter's Square, with those sweeping colonnades. He called them the arms of the church, and you can really feel that. It's like this grand open invitation, designed to welcome the entire world. So you can see here, from that first stone in 1506, all the way to Michelangelo stepping in, and finally, the official dedication in 1626. We're talking about a project that spanned lifetimes. This wasn't just building a church, it was an epic saga that literally shaped the heart of Rome. Okay, so we've seen the massive scale. Now let's zoom way in, from this giant superstructure to one single sculpture. Because right inside, you find this incredible masterpiece that Michelangelo finished when he was only 24. It's called the Pietà. And yep, this is where we find that secret I promised you.
So the whole secret starts with this one kind of strange question that has bugged people for centuries. You look at this sculpture, the Pietà, and you just have to ask, why does the Virgin Mary look younger than Jesus? I mean, she looks like a teenager, and she's holding her 33-year-old son. What's going on there?
Well, the answer isn't about what she actually looked like. It's all about theology. Michelangelo carved her with this ageless, perfect beauty to symbolize her purity, her being without sin. The idea is that she was part of God's divine plan from the very beginning of time. So her youth isn't about age, it's a symbol of her eternal grace. But wait, there's another layer to this. The Pietà is the only thing Michelangelo ever signed. He carved his name right onto that sash across Mary's chest. And here's the cool part. Look at the last word, faciabat. That's Latin, and it doesn't mean he made it. It means he was making it. It's this super humble thing artists used to do, kind of saying, my work is never truly finished. It's always reaching for perfection. And here it is, the final brilliant move. That last letter of the word, the T, is actually a Tau cross. That's the oldest known symbol for the crucifixion. And Michelangelo, the genius, placed it right there between her breasts, a symbol of his own creation and Christ's sacrifice, all rolled into one. The signature itself is a secret masterpiece, hiding right there in plain sight. Incredible. Okay, so let's zoom back out now. because the story didn't just stop when the building was finished in 1626. Not at all. A place like this old, this important, it's a living, breathing thing, and it needs constant, dedicated care.
And we're seeing that happen right now. There's a huge event coming up in 2025 called the Jubilee Year. And because millions of people are expected to visit, it's kicked off this massive new restoration project to make sure the Basilica's treasures are in perfect shape. And one of the biggest parts of this effort is restoring Bernini's baldacchino. You know, that gigantic bronze canopy that sits over the main altar? It's a huge job, a 10-month project costing 700,000 euros. And that canopy weighs almost 70 tons. It really shows you that keeping this heritage alive is just as big of a job as building it in the first place. So when you add it all up, the mind-blowing history, the genius-level art, the non-stop preservation work, it makes you ask a bigger question, right? Why do old buildings like this still matter so much to us today?
You know, I think this quote really nails it. These buildings, they have to outlive us. They're like anchors to our past. They're the marks of our passage. St. Peter's is so much more than stone and metal. It connects us to everyone who came before us, to their dreams, their beliefs. It's literally part of the soul of a city, of our whole civilization.
The story of St. Peter's is just this epic tale of faith, art, and what humans are capable of. And it's a great reminder that these stories, even these little secrets, they're built into the world all around us. So the next time you're walking around your own town or city, maybe look a little closer. What stories are the buildings around you trying to tell? Thanks for joining me for this one.